Welcome back, Student of the Game podcast. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in. Hey, it's that time of the year. We're in the month of December. Christmas movies is all over the place. And one of my favorite Christmas movies that I love to watch during this time is A Christmas Story. That's right, the movie A Christmas Story. It's about Ralph. Y'all know who Ralph is. What does Ralph want? Ralph wants his BB gun, okay? And the thing about it is, man, it's one of those things, it's like, man, you can't help but to root for him because everywhere he goes, everybody who he mentions what he wants. They don't want him to get it. He goes to his mom. She doesn't want him to get it. In class, they have to write a letter to Santa and submit it to your teacher and state what you want for Christmas. The teacher doesn't like his idea. Okay, even he goes to the mall. Santa Claus. Even Santa Claus turned it down. You know what Santa Claus said? He said the exact same thing his mom said. You know what his mom said? The exact same thing that his teacher said. All three said, "You'll shoot your eye out. You'll shoot your eye out." And it's like, man, he's not asking for a real gun. The kid wants a BB gun. Who didn't have a BB gun growing up, right? But throughout this whole movie, you root for him to get what he want. That's his mission. You want this kid to get what he wants, because we all got that. We all have something that we want. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's always hard to get it. You got different type of obstacles in your way. And it's like, man, like as an 8 or 9-year-old kid, like what bigger obstacles are in your way from getting something that you want? What obstacles are bigger than your mom, your teacher, and Santa Claus? You know what I'm saying? But this movie here, like, and of course, when he finally gets it, what does he do? He didn't literally shoot his eye out, but he had glasses, thank God, because if he didn't have his glasses, he probably would have shot his eye out. Maybe he should have read the instructions. I don't know, because what happened was his dad ended up getting it for him. So his dad said, I had one when I was his age too. So I'm glad him and mom had an understanding on that. But on this movie here, man, it's so many like real great scenes, awesome scenes in this movie. It's one of the most memorable scenes in this movie is that, where Ralphie's friend, all right, his friend, man, I shouldn't even be laughing at this. His friend, they double dared him. They quadruple dog dared him to put his tongue on a pole in freezing temperatures, okay? And he does it. And guess what? Tongue is stuck on the pole. And what happens is that his friends leave him in class, and they say the bell rang. And then when the teacher called, they say, hey, where's such and such? The little girl was like right over there, and they had to call they called the police department, the paramedics, the firemen, firewomen, and stuff like that. So that's why I'm like, wow, man. And to this day, let me tell you something. I have never ever had a desire to put my tongue on a pole. And after seeing that movie, that pretty much reassured that I will never ever have a desire to do that. Let me tell you something. It's not always good to be curious. People used to be like, aren't you curious? No, I'm always been that person. No, I'm not curious. I'm not interested. And then a lot of people be like, you antisocial, you scared. Okay, you can say whatever it is you want, but that's not going to get me to do what you want me to do. So, we could just stop hanging out, or we could just move on to something different. Because you can say whatever it is you want. I'm not putting my tongue on that. No, that's gross. Yuck. But that was one of the biggest memorable scenes in that movie. And another one, oh man, the bully. Oh man, I do not like bullies. If you're a bully, hey man, stop bullying people. All right, you don't like people bullying you. You don't want people bullying your kids, your family, or anything like that. Stop bullying people, because there is a thing called karma. What goes around comes around, and around and around and around. But anyways, that scene right there, it goes to show you, man. Like, Ralph was fresh off in class where the teacher gave him a C on his paper and said he'll shoot his eye out, and he wasn't able to get his BB gun, and man, Ralph just didn't feel like hearing it from anybody. And any other day he would take his beating from that bully and his little goon or whatever. But this day here, that bully, he messed with the wrong version of Ralph. This variant of Ralph was not having that. Ralph wailed all on him and stuff, man. I'm like, get him, Ralph. Get him. Because it's like, hey, man, stop picking on people, Like, what's up with that? But that was one of the most powerful scenes in a movie. You know, not just in a holiday movie, but in a movie I've ever seen. Because, hey man, like, hey, you know how they say you got to hit the bully in the mouth? Well, he hit the bully in the mouth multiple times, okay? Now, I don't know what happened when Christmas break was over. I don't know if the bully came back for revenge like Debo on next Friday trying to find Craig. But here's the thing. It's always going to be etched in there that, guess what? Ralphie kicked your butt, dude. Kicked your butt. And you know what? What I hope happened is that all the other kids who he was bullying felt empowered. You know what I'm saying? They said, hey, you know, we don't have to take this from him. Do him the way Ralph did him, you know? So, but that was a real good scene right there. And another scene, you know, that doesn't get talked about that much, that I don't hear people talk that much about it. Maybe they talk about it on different blogs or something like that, is that, you know, Ralph's mom was very messy. She was a messy woman in this movie. I'm not talking about the cleanliness of the house. I'm talking about, like, check this out. So when Ralph was helping when Ralph had sweared, all right, his dad told his mom, the mom took him home, put soap bar in his mouth, okay? Washed his mouth off with soap. Apparently that was the thing back in the day. I never had soap in my mouth, okay? Thank God. It sounds unsafe and pretty poisonous if you ask me. But anyways, they parented different back then, and maybe there was different type of chemicals in soap. That's in there now is a lot different than what it was back in the day. I have no idea, people. But anyways, check this out. Ralph. So the mom took the bar soap out of his mouth and she says, now where did you learn that kind of language from? And Ralph thinking like, okay, I must have heard my old man say that like 10 to 20 times a day, you know. And if you're the mom, you know your husband says that every day, okay? But he says, he was like, I'm not going to dime out my dad. So he dimed, and it wouldn't be snitching on his dad because the mom is aware of this, right? But anyways, he says his friend, I think his friend's name was Fitz. He said it was his friend, all right? So here's what the mom does. She say, oh. And I'm like, what you him for? Like, you know it wasn't him. Are you serious? But anyways, so she goes and she calls Fitz's mom. She says, Ralphie said blah, 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 blah. And the other mom was like, what? And she said, do you know where he got that language from? And Fitz's mom said, yeah, his father, your husband. And her response was, oh, no, he did not. And I'm like, who are we fooling here? You are clearly lying. You know he gets it from his father, from Miss Austin Powers Faja. But anyways, so she said, no, he got it from your son. And then she was like, oh. All you hear is she busts in Fitz's room and gives him a whooping that he did not deserve. He did not deserve that. I'm telling you, he did not deserve that. Okay? He did not. I'm not saying he never said that word before, but we have no proof. If I was him, I'd be like, hey, Ralph is lying. I didn't say that. And it's his word, her word versus my word. But we all know that Ralph's dad says that word a lot. And guess what? Ralph's mom felt no remorse on it. You know, that right there, like, I didn't really think about that part until I saw the movie again about a week ago. And that's when I'm like, that's not cool, man. That's not cool. But anyways, you know, I love this movie. Scale of 1 to 10. This movie here gets a 10 from me because I feel like, hey, you know, they understood the assignment clearly. It's one of those movies, hey, it's a reason why this movie on December 25th on Christmas, even on Christmas Eve, it's in heavy rotation, playing back to 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 back 24/7, you know. Like, this is one of those movies that I can literally just watch. I can have it on all day. You know, if I'm watching the game, go to commercial break, I'm watching Christmas Story, and then guess what? Once Christmas Story go to commercial break, I go back to whatever game I was watching, you know. But anyway, share your thoughts. Let me know what you think about A Christmas Story. Hate it or love it? Do you like it? Love it? Let me know. Tell me why you like it. Tell me why you don't like it, all right? And tell me what's your most memorable scene in A Christmas Story, all right? And also hit that like button and subscribe button if you like the content that I am delivering to you, and you. All right? Once again, thank y'all for tuning in. Student of the Game Podcast. Peace out.